Hi, in this video we're going to take a look at the January 2015 Higher Paper 1 Question 2. And as you'll see, it's a calculation question or using BIDMAS. Now we're going to take this a step at a time to see how to do both of these. And very important in this question is a look at the methodology of how you use your calculator in order to avoid making calculator errors. We'll see that as we go along. So let's take this first problem, which is 451.4 divided by 14.1 plus 10.3. Now, the worst thing you can do is to try and do all of this on your calculator in one go, because almost certainly you'll make a calculator error. Watch how I do it, and this is the way you should do it in the exam as well. So let's bring in the calculator. We type in the first bit of the calculation we're going to do. So we're going to add these two numbers together, the 14.1 and the 10.3, and we get an answer of 24.4. We write that down. This is what you should do on your paper. You should have this step written down for the marker to see, and also to avoid you making these terrible calculator errors that people make when they just think they can do the whole calculation on the calculator in one go. So the next step is to do the division, and that gives us an answer of 18.5. Now for the second part of the question, we're going to be using this methodology again of one calculation at a time before you write something down. So let's take the square root of 7.8 squared minus 7.2 squared and take that a step at a time. So we have our 7.8 that we type in. We can then use the square button and then press equals, and we get 60.84. Write it down. Write a new line with this new information in it. Then we're going to take the 7.2, again press the square button and get the answer of 51.84 and write that down. Next step, do the subtraction. Get the answer and write it down. And finally, take the square root, which is this button here, of 9 to get an answer of 3. That's basically the problem finished. We've established what the correct answers are in both of these, but an interesting point has arisen here. You see that at this point we've got the square root of 9. Now, after all this sort of calculation, if you get the square root of a whole number, then you know that you've done the right thing. Now, I have to add a little warning to that. Do not expect to get whole numbers, because you could quite easily have got the square root of 9.5 here and that would have been acceptable. What I am saying is you can't really get accidentally, by making mistakes up here, a whole number in here. So if you do see a whole number here, it means that the rest of your calculation must be correct. And you'll be quite satisfied to get your answer finished off and move on quickly without having to do any rechecks or come over this again just to make sure that you've got the right thing. Okay, that's all for this particular question. Thank you for listening.